Deuce Almighty podcast. All right, this is episode 2, season 2. Um, Basically, the seasons will be congruent with the amount of fights I have. Uh, I took that short notice fight in Mexico, which we'll talk about today. We'll go over all of the details. Um, and it was only like 10 days notice, so I didn't want to make like a whole new season for season 3, which is the fight camp that I'm in currently. So I'll keep this as season 2. Um, that way we can all keep up with what's going on. A few things we got: Let God Sort 'Em Out, the record of the week. Rey Mysterio, my goat. And then, if you see here, I have a little sombrero from my Mexico fight. Oh, my hand. It's over there. Y'all see it. Um, but yeah, I want to really get into the whole everything about Mexico and what went down. I initially had recorded this on Sunday like normal, but I didn't put the mic on, and I messed up. I messed up. um, so yeah, I really want to just get into all of the things. A really good experience with fighting in Mexico. So much went down. There was so many ins and outs and ups and downs. And initially, I want to kind of get into like pre-fight and like before all that stuff. While I'm still back home and like why I took the fight. And really, it was just about pushing myself, man. I did lose. I ended up fighting up, so uh, I fight at 125, and the fight was originally scheduled for 140. Um, and I think I've been watching too much boxing. I saw Terrence Crawford do it. I saw Shakur Stevenson do it. Two people that I look up to, kinda, and I really revere in the martial arts world. And I just kind of felt like shit, like I can do it, and I believe in my skill set. So I really wanted to push myself. And aside from that, I kind of had like a bad taste in my mouth after my last fight. And it's not that I didn't win. I did win, like, and I'm talking about from November, my first pro fight. And I really wanted to push myself, and in that fight I did show my skill. I did show, that I was ready to be a pro. But afterwards, I didn't I just felt really weird. I felt weird about having such a simple fight for my skill level or my skill set, and um I almost felt like a bully, I didn't become a professional fighter to fight easier competition. Um yeah, or even to get freaking paid. Like, I didn't become a pro to necessarily just get paid. I became a pro to fight the best in the world and prove that I'm up there with the best in the world. And it really just left a bad taste in my mouth having such an easy fight. But that's the game, you take your hey, your first couple fights are probably gonna be the easiest fights you ever have, and a lot of people do that, especially in high level martial arts. You take some ones as you get comfortable with the 3 minute rounds or the 5 minute rounds, and then as you get better and better, you fight better and better competition as you get more comfortable. And I guess I took it a little too far. Not just that, but on top of that, we were building in the process of building our new gym and moving from one gym to another. It was a lot of long days and long nights. I was waking up early, getting to the gym or the excuse me, the new spot, and like buffing out floors or measuring and figuring out what's going to go where and cleaning up and setting out the mats. I was spending hours and hours before, and then I would head to the other gym and I would coach classes and do that all night and then get home. And sometimes I would go back to the gym before I even get home just so I could finish some things in the new gym so it can make my next day easier. And I was really just I wasn't all there when it came to this Mexico fight. I really wasn't. I should not have taken the fight. And my coach told me, and I just kind of told him, I believe in my skill set, you know. And everything that happened in the fight is like literally what he told me. He's like, he's gonna be big. You haven't really been training like that. You know, you should. Pros don't do this. And I realized all of that leading up to the fight, and I kind of knew it. I haven't really been running, or I wasn't running at the time, since my last fight camp. So since like November 10th, November 11th, I think was my last run. So I went all of November, all of freaking so like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, and then tried to take a fight on 10 days notice. So like, but I want to be great, man, and I wanna be able to prove to myself and to others that I'm exactly who I say I am. And that really, I felt like it was a big step, and it was a good step for me to take, even though it didn't go my way, or it wasn't the best or the smartest decision I could possibly make. Um, I believe in myself and I believe in my skill set, and I really wanted to test like my lowest level, not running, not lifting. I think I missed like 60% of my lifts. I don't even want to look at it. Like we use an app that like lets you know all of your lifts and when they are, what you missed, what you did, all of the things. And I think I completed like 30 something percent of my lifts for leading up to that fight. And it's just like, that's not what pros do. I learned a lot about this. I learned a lot about the game and what you need to do and what being a pro means. And like, I learned a lot of stuff during this fight camp, or because of that fight in Mexico. Um, and I've always wanted to fight in Mexico. Like, I just didn't want to give up all these opportunities. I was originally just going as a coach, but being able to say I fought in Mexico, I fought in Mexico on 10 days notice. I fought up multiple weight classes and I came home with no injuries. Uh, is that means something to me. Especially when I put the gloves up and I get to like really reminisce and like be proud of myself and all of the things that I've done, and all the things that I've accomplished. Um, yeah, I just didn't want to leave any opportunities on the table. Um, I really do believe in myself, and like I could have went in there and won, and then no one would have been thinking negatively about the thing. Other than Johnny, my coach, he would have told me, "Yeah, I don't care if you won, you shouldn't have did that dumbass shit," and that's respectable. Uh, Especially when someone's been through all these things, he's fought and he's taken short notice fights and he's lost short notice fights, and he just don't want me to take that same path that he took, especially if I believe that I'm the best fighter in the world and I don't just want to be a coach. I want to be the best fighter in the world. He's just making sure that I don't do something that jeopardizes my skill set or jeopardizes my career, which is understandable. But I really do have all the faith in the world in myself, and yeah. But I also have to play the game like everybody else is playing the game. No one's taking short notice fights against elite dudes, and I don't need to sacrifice myself and my skill set to do that. Um, yeah, play the game, play the game. But yeah, it was weird. Like I was just doing all of the wrong things. I was freaking smoking every day. Um, I was drinking and like hanging out with my friends and partying. That stuff isn't bad. It's just when it comes to taking a fight, that's the last thing you want to be doing. If you need your lungs and you need your liver, in a game of death, like you don't want to be playing around with your life. Um, so yeah, I really just wanted to try and attempt to be great. I wanted to push myself and do something that I mean, I'm really good, and it took me a long time to watch the fight I felt really weird and off about it. I was nervous that I looked like trash, honestly. And it took me maybe 2 weeks to watch the fight to kind of like get over it and really dive into it. But after watching, like I realized that I looked good. You know, it's not like I didn't look like myself. Uh, I'll get into the fight later. I'll get into the fight later. I'll get into the fight later. Uh, but yeah, Mexico was amazing. I got to go to Mexico with two of my best friends, Christian and Jag. Like we train together a lot. We motivate each other a lot. Like this game and this sport matters a bunch to us, and having the opportunity to go to a different country, like to go to a different country to fight in a different country. Like this was Christian's first time on a plane. And he got to leave the freaking country. This is Jag's first time going to Mexico, and he's half Mexican. Um, it was really cool, and we were there when the whole cartel stuff went down. So like a little added thing that was going on. We were there, and we were safe, man. Monterrey was amazing. Monterrey was amazing. The people treated us so well. Using translators, and we tried to speak the language as best we can. You know, using the translator, not just showing them, but like actually trying to sound it out. Last year I retook Spanish 1. I think I'm going to retake Spanish 2 this year. And that way I could kind of keep growing with my Spanish, and kind of get comfortable with it. Uh, Man, growing up, like I grew up in a freaking on like a Puerto Rican street, so like Spanish was always around me. And as I got older, I ended up moving to Delaware, and I was in like a school with a lot of Mexican people, and that's kind of when I fell in love with Mexican people and Mexican culture, and really wanted to. That's like when I decided, like, hey, like one day I want to go to Mexico, and being able to realize that dream was really amazing with this last fight. Um, I have so much respect for Mexican people and Mexican culture. Love them with all my heart, bro. Like I'm a big on culture and preserving your culture, and that shit means something to me. I mean, look, Rey Mysterio mask right there. Like no joke. This is I fuck with y'all. I fuck with them. I fuck with us. We out here. But yeah, being able to go to Mexico and like try my best to speak the language, and people treat you well and treat you nice, and we were going into like mom and pop shops and walking. We were walking like 3 miles a day. I think me and Christian got there a day before Jag, and we had went to where people told us we should not be going. We talked to the homie Figgy. Figgy, he fights out of the Hammers Gym, and the Hammers Gym is Ramon Decker's brother. So pretty much their legacy is the Ramon Decker's legacy. And I was talking to Figgy. He fights in Glory as well as a kickboxer. And he was like, "Yo, bro, like don't go over there." We tried to go over there, and then the people told us to turn around. And I was like, "Fuck that!" And me and Christian walked into the bowels of Monterrey, and we got great food. You know, speaking to the locals, going to local mom and pop shops, like had some really good food. We got like an entire chicken that they were cooking on the grill. Like we just wanted to feel like we were locals. We wanted to feel like we were at home, not like, you know, we're in this different place and we need to act different, or like we're only where the tourists are. And like, nah, man, we didn't go to Mexico to fucking act like Americans. We went to Mexico to feel like we were Mexican. Um, every time I do a podcast, I drink water before, and then I just burp the entire time, and it kind of ticks me off. But I be trying to be hydrated, bro. um, but yeah, getting to Mexico was really amazing, and like the being able to get on flights, and like the air, you know, the orange tint that's always over like Mexican films. I realized what it was when you're in the airport, when you're in Mexico. You know how like the doors open up like from the airport to outside, they like automatically slide, and the tent is orange. And I believe that's where they get that from, or that's at least what I interpreted it as. Because they always do that in like Mexican films and like African films. They like there's like a filter on it, and I noticed it when I was leaving the airport. And I have a vlog about my whole Mexico experience. I just haven't put it together and uploaded it yet. But you can watch it sometime soon. Sometime soon. Maybe it'll be like the Monterrey Mo vlog or something like that. Um, but yeah, it was like just a really really sick experience. Me, Jag, Christian, we bunked in one room, and me and Jag shared a bed. um, and we were able to have breakfast every single day, like amazing breakfast. They were cooking amazing food, bro. All different types of things, different things every day. Uh, and then like it was just sick. It was sick, and I want to kind of get into the fights and how everything went down. The rest of the USA team, we had people from. So it was Mexico versus USA. RFL is the Mexican promotion, and Ascend was the USA promotion. And I fight for Ascend almost every single time. That's pretty much like my UFC, my NBA, until I get to one championship or UFC, of course, or RWS Rajadam World Series, which is Muay Thai, or Lumpini fight. Uh, yeah, we had guys from Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina. Is it just was it just those? Yeah, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia. And the team was amazing, man. Like being able to be around people that you watch and you see their like careers freaking blossoming. Like you have people freaking knocking dudes out. You have like Paige who just like dominates everyone she fights. Um, DC, Demontez Cox, who's from Tennessee, Chonbury, Nashville, but Chonbury's the gym. And bro, I got to watch him hit pads, and that was amazing, bro. That was amazing. The intensity, the power, the speed, the thwack on the pads. You know, being able to watch all of these people like train and train in the same room, the tiny room, with them. It always like does something to me. You know, I love seeing really good technique. I love seeing elite competition. Um, I grew up watching golf, tennis, and like I love seeing good techniques and really high quality athletics and really high. And it doesn't have to be athletics. Like if you put a robot together, that's wonderful. You know, I would love it. And being able to see these people do the thing that we all do, and it being so crisp, you kind of like it's like studying film but in person, you know, like just because they're not on your TV doesn't make it any less monumental. um and I feel like that's something that like I really fall in love with, and that I don't know. I'm just I'm always a student and I'm always a fan. I'm never the guy that's just like, oh, like fuck this, fuck that. Like I'm bigger than this, I'm bigger than that. That's not my thing. And being able to see people that I know or I've been watching over the years, and be directly next to them, and or drilling with them, and like getting to feel the power, seeing the intensity in the eyes. Like that was something the girl Paige, shout out Paige, bro, out of Ever Ready Muay Thai in Atlanta. Shout out Justin as well. Um, but Paige, I seen her flip the switch. Like we were doing drills, and I seen her eyes change from like the nice woman that you see, to to the competitor. And I've actually never gotten a chance to see her fight. I we usually fight like right around the same time, so I'm either warming up or she's either warming up, and I never really get to see her fight, and I got to feel it. I got to feel her intensity and her spirit, and like that was really wonderful for me. Yeah, Keith, he fights out of Eveready in Atlanta as well, and getting to see like simplicity and power together. He doesn't do too much with his footwork. He doesn't do too much with his head movement. He's but it's so powerful with um, so little movement. And like I just take things away like that, and like then seeing fucking DC. I don't know why. I guess I do know why they call him DC. His name is Demontez Cox, but Tez is hard. TC is hard, but DC is hard. DTC, I don't know, bro. I'm not finna try to get this nigga a new nickname. But just seeing the intensity, man, like the speed, the power, the willpower, while cutting weight to be able to throw and do all that at that intensity, um, just was it was wonderful to see. It was wonderful to be around and be in the same room. Um, and then to even get to hit pads with Raul, the owner of Ascend, the promoter of Ascend, and that's not something I get to do or you get to do a lot. Is like train with um, the people that are working, these events, and getting to train with Justin Burns too out of Eveready, the head coach and owner of Eveready Muay Thai in Atlanta. Just getting to see the different styles, and I'm really grateful for that. I live for things like that. I live for being around people that are elite and growing with people. Yeah, I live for that, and that was one of my favorite things about the Mexico experience. Being around so many different people that really love the game, that you kind of know. Um, I don't actually know these people like inside and out. I'm weird, so like on social media, everybody know what I be posting, but you don't know anybody until you know them. And sometimes you learn everything about somebody through physical contact, like through sparring or through training, and you get to like really meet someone when you guys train together. And we got to train not only in Team USA training in Atlanta, but also when we were in Monterrey, Mexico. Um, Monterrey, Monterrey. Sheesh, that shit goes so fast. Um, but yeah, it was wonderful experience. I'm gonna keep saying that. Um, so we started off with talking about just leading up to the event. I didn't really talk about exactly everything. I got a call. What was it? Wednesday night after sparring. And I was really, and this is the week before the fight card, so 10 days prior. Um, and it's funny because I was talking to Lauren, just about how like I just felt weird, I just felt off, like I needed something, and maybe the next day, I get home from training and I felt that same way in training. On Wednesdays we do something called the pig, and the pig is just one positive in your life, one thing you want to improve and how you're going to implement it, and then one thing you're grateful for. And I just remember like feeling off during the pig and just like being kind of like standoffish or like behind myself. I just felt off, and I just felt like I wasn't doing anything for myself, I think. um so focused on building the gym and then all of these holidays, and like I live 9 hours from my family, so for the holidays I'm traveling 9 hours to go back home. And whether I'm going back home, up north or down south, it's 9 hours either way. And I put so much into everyone else for so many months back to back, November, December, January, and like I just felt like I wanted to do something for myself. And that was a big reason why I took the fight. Like I hadn't done anything for me or anything that I wanted to do. Everything was just centered around everyone else and making all these all these different people happy. And I wanted to make myself happy, so I fought in Mexico. And again, I know it wasn't the smartest decision, but bro, like it was worth it. It was worth it, and I learned so much. I learned so much. Um, I learned that I am really good, even when I'm not training. Not something that I'm not gonna do again. Even when I'm not like I just learned that I can stay the course and I can trust myself and I can trust my coaches. Um, but now let's talk about fight day. And leading up to the fights. They so much changed from being in the U.S. to being in Mexico when it comes to the fight card. I want some water. I'm thirsty, man. Give me a second. But so much changed. Meaning, originally, I had agreed to a 3 round fight. Um, and then when the poster came out, it was a 5 round title fight. And this is like what I think people talk about when they say like, it's a hostile environment. It's different when you fight elsewhere. Everyone has a story about fighting in Mexico. Like everyone has a story, a funny story about fighting in Mexico. It's never normal. So, I remember agreeing. And I was asked if I wanted to be a 5 round title fight, and I said no. Taking a fight on 10 days notice. It wasn't a title fight before. Why would it now be a title fight? Um, but I think they just wanted to get their homie a belt. They just kind of like weighed the options out. It was like, hey, either you're fucking 30 pounds heavier than this dude. He hasn't really been training. Let's throw a belt on it and make it, so that way you could have a belt. But no one was supposed to fight in shin guards. And then we get to the venue and like everyone's warming up, and then they start bringing out shin guards. Um, the first one of our team that went was Jeremy from the Netherlands, from Hemmer's gym. Again, Ramon Decker's brother, uh, from his gym. Rest in peace, Ramon Deckers, bro. He's a big reason why I fight the way I fight. The violence, the speed, the techniques, the punching, the kicking to elbowing. A really big reason why I fight that way. But I remember Jeremy was warming up and he had his hands taped and wrapped and everything like normal. And then they come in like, yo, you can't wrap your hands with tape. And we're like, you can't wrap your hands with tape like at all. And like, no, you need to use like cloth wraps like you use in the gym. And we're like, what? There was so much weird things that was like happening back to back to back to back. Um, so just kind of starting the day off, we all had a breakfast, we ate, and the fight was supposed to start at 5 p.m. And originally we were supposed to get there like 2 or 2:30, and then they push it back to 3, and then they push it back to 3:30. So I'm like, we're gonna get there an hour and a half before. We're gonna all get our hands wrapped, taped, rules meeting, warmed up, fight at 5, all in an hour and a half. And if you know anything, bro, you have to see the doctor. If you know anything about fighting, or if you fought, the the line to get your physicals from the doctor sometimes takes an hour, especially if you get there later. And like you're in line, you're in the back of the line. Like it may take you 1 to 2 hours to get your physical. So luckily it was a shorter card, so there weren't as many fighters. But we're gonna go from like an hour and a half. Everyone gets to see the doctor. You get your hands wrapped, and then we fight. And once you start fighting, bro, like people start getting knocked out, and like then like your time gets pushed up. And this is a big reason why there are no set times for fights. People, if you watch fighting and you like fighting and you support fighters or whatever, stop asking what time they're fighting. It's up to you to get there early or turn the fights on early. Do not freaking ask them who or what time they're fighting. Please do not ask them. No, we don't know. It's not a real thing. Please stop asking us that. It's not a thing that we know. We have to do math. Okay, there's 3 2-minute rounds with a 1 minute rest in between. 3 6 9, 1 2. Okay, 11 minutes per fight plus the raising of the hands. Okay, 15 minutes per fight. How many fights are on the card? Okay, 10 fights. So if it starts at 5, then that's going to be 4 fights in an hour. Like if I have to do that for every single fucking person, and then a reminder, what if the fight doesn't go 15 minutes? What if the guy gets knocked out in the first round? You're not fighting in 15 minutes. You're fighting right now. Go out there. Go make the walk. Like you have to stop asking us when we're competing. We don't fucking know. And mom, I'm sorry. I know you watch, and I know I'm supposed to stop cursing, but this ticks me off. I should not be receiving text messages before my fight about when I'm fighting. The day before, the week of, the week. Stop asking me what time I fight. I don't fucking know. Please, I don't fucking know. Okay? I'm in the back. I'm going crazy. I'm hungry, and I'm scared that if I eat, I'm not going to be able to shit it out before I fight, and I'm going to get hit in the stomach, and I'm going to shit my pants in the ring. I'm scared that if I drink this water, it's going to stay in my stomach, and I'm going to fucking get hit in the stomach, and it's going to come out. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm anxious, and I'm supposed to go fight some dude with no elbow pads and no shin guards on. And you're asking me what time I fight, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Okay? I'm sorry, but this is like the worst question, dog. Like, we don't know. Please stop asking us. Please. We don't know when we are fighting. Okay? Moment of silence. Thank you. Um, but yeah, so craziness, craziness, craziness. So we're supposed to get there at 3:30. Fight start at 5. So we get there, and we're walking. Me, I like to get a lay of the land. I'm walking around. I went to the soccer field. I shadow boxed in the soccer field. Um, the bathrooms had no toilet paper, so you couldn't shit. Crazy. Um, we this is when like all the games really started to kick in. So we get there, everyone's like kind of getting warmed up and all this stuff. And we realized, like, well, I realized, yo, there's 3 air conditioners in here and they're all on. It's freezing. It's hard to warm up. People are getting their hands wrapped. They say no tape on the hand wraps. Christian gets his hands wrapped, and they're like, "Oh, is it taped?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Are you gotta take those?" He's like, "I'm not taking them off." So then, Raul has to go wrap his opponent's hands because he wrapped Christian's hands, and we're supposed to be having cloth wraps. Um, so then we only were able to use gauze. Not me. I'm a pro, so I don't have the same rules. But like Jag has like a wonky wrist now. From just gauze around his hands. It's like fucking putting a sock on your hands and going to fight and think you're gonna have some sort of protection. Like you're not. Um, and like it was just so many weird games. Like it was so hard to break a sweat in there. It's fucking freezing. Um, and then they're calling you out like 10 minutes prior to the fight, and it's like I have to stop warming up and go out there, and then like it was so crazy. Just keep going with the day. Keep going with the day. So I'm getting my hands wrapped, and like and I'm supposed to be getting my hands wrapped way earlier, but every time I go to find the guy who's supposed to wrap my hands, like they're doing interviews, and like mind you, there's only two coaches, and there's like 10 of us, and if they're coaching, then they can't possibly be warming you up or wrapping your hands, and it's like it was so much happening. Like I didn't get my hands wrapped until like 20 minutes prior to the fight. Um, and then it's like you're spending the last 10, 15 minutes trying to warm up. I did like 20 speed kicks each side. Me and Raul went through each strike 5 times. And then I did like some punch outs. And then I walked out to the corridor. And now I'm just sitting in a tent, like ready to fight. Like I go from sweaty to not sweating. Like I'm just sitting there. Um, and this is when like I began to realize like there are so many things that are like ritualistic when it comes to fighting, um, that really get you in that mindset. Um, and like going back to like hitting pads, like when you're in your gym, when you're just training every week, like you need to be intentional with how you hit pads and like where your brain goes. Like you need to take yourself to that place. Um, because like I was realizing that like I couldn't lock in, like I couldn't get into my mode, and I was trying to, and like man, shout out Johnny Buck, bro, shout out Johnny Buck. He's my head coach, and it's like, and this isn't any knock on our coaches that we had for Ascend, but you really need your home coach sometimes. They know your systems. They know what you like to do, what you don't like to do, what you like to throw, what you don't like to throw, how you like to warm up, when, what kind of space you need. Because like for me, I don't necessarily need external like motivation. And like just having people in my ear saying, "Yeah, you gotta do this. You gotta like you're the best. You're this. You're that. You're that." Like I don't really need that. It's almost like another distraction. But also going back to like the ritualistic thing, if you're not running and going to that place, and you're not hitting pads and going to that place, then you never really created the paths to get there. Like you never really mowed out the path. So it's like when you're going running and you're in your brain, you're thinking about the fight. You're like, it's like you're fucking lining up the hedge, and then when you're hitting pads and you're going to that place, you're thinking about landing this on your opponent. You know, then you're cutting the grass down, and you're like really paving the way to get to that mindset. But because I wasn't doing those things, it took me longer to find my way to get there. On top of not being able like to warm up how I usually warm up, and it was I just found myself being awake and not being that fighter. Like I wasn't like Deuce Almighty. I was like Deuce Carter, you know. And that was, and like that's why like sometimes I need Johnny, you know, like he'll say it to me like you don't look like Deuce Almighty, you know, you don't look like Deuce Water. He'll say that to me like I don't know what's going on, you need to go fix it. And like, and then he gives me time. He doesn't say anything to me. He's like, hey, like you don't look like Deuce Water, like, and then he'll just walk away, and I'll go find it, you know, and I'll pick it up within myself. But like just being, I was just too normal. It was too normal. Like I was, and I also don't need people in my ears. And again, this is no knock to the homies and no knock to the coaches. It was just like we were in this tent and there's just people talking to me when I'm trying to get to that place, and I couldn't get there. Like, and then the walkout was weird, you know, the I couldn't hear the music right, and like I'm used to just being able to really go somewhere else, and I wasn't able to do that. And it really messed with me, and I was noticing it as it was happening. I'm just like, yo, I just need a second, just be quiet, just like, and like I just kept hearing words, and it was like driving me crazy. Like I don't need external things to motivate me. I know who I am. And it was just like almost like another distraction. Then, but also I wasn't creating those pathways anyways, so I can't put this all on the situation or all on the coaches or all on the homies. Like if I would have been doing the things leading up to that, I could have been there. Um so yeah, so like we walk out and it's just, I couldn't hear the song. I was so weird, you know. And then we get into the ring, and like, ah, man, so many missed opportunities. But I did a lot of the things that I wanted to do, and this is something that I realized. We talk about it all the time, but like the things you do every day is how you show up in the ring. I had been working on a lot of that slip across, get to the side, and like look for that left elbow, and I couldn't land the elbow. He was taller, and like so, say you're orthodox, you have your left foot forward and your right foot back, and you throw a right straight. I'm gonna slip outside, and I have this slight angle on you, cause your hand is out right here. I'm here, and the head is here. But because I was shorter, I couldn't get the elbow all the way to the other side. So like I'd be here, but his head was up here, and my elbows here, and I wasn't tall enough to land the elbows, and like I just kept getting to that position, and I wasn't able to really do much with it because I mean I motherfucker was tall. My punches were working, my boxing was working. I was attacking the lead leg. Actually, I want to get my intentions, and I want to go over my intentions. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.